Hello, it is Lord Haywire. I am streaming some 2D4X today, and we are going to be declaring war. That's the plan. At least, I was thinking about this before I started streaming, and man, this is going to get complicated. Like, right off the bat, things are going to be complicated. I even did a little test maneuver of one guy, and I already saw like a complication. Like immediately, I was like, "Oh fuck, this is gonna be rough." Um, but that's fine. I mean, that's why we're doing it in little steps like this. So this is our next step. When you right-click to move an army token to a county you don't own, ask if you want to declare war. That's what we're doing today. This is gonna cause all of this uh, stuff to happen. This thing is going to cause this. So we're gonna be adding a bunch of things in here, and I generally, like, sometimes I pre-think out my stream. Like, I think what we're doing the next day, and other times I don't. Today I kind of pre-thought it out, which is a good thing. Let me get it so that my my chat here works. Okay, so this is what we're doing, and there's a couple of different stipulations here. Why does that say 11 workers? That's not right. This isn't right. Okay, I just noticed that. Let me put a bug thing in here. Idle workers isn't showing right when you first start the game. So I haven't paused. I bet you, well, I actually don't know. Let's unpause it and see if it updates. Yeah, it does. So let's put this little bug report, and it is paused. Okay, I should have said when the game's paused. We're not going to fix this right now. We're just going to put it up here for later. So this guy is a faction leader. He's not an army, and that's what we did yesterday and the day before. Is we set this up so that it shows that he's your faction leader. You click this, you spawn him. He should be allowed to travel into other faction areas. That's going to cause a different diplomatic incident. We're not doing those yet. We'll do those here. I'll put that in too for the next thing. Non-armies entering other faction territory counties. All right, we're gonna like be adding to this list all day today. It's gonna be a huge complication, like I said. And I actually wasn't even gonna stream today. I'm doing a top 10 videos I streamed, or video games I streamed on my other channel. And I was gonna record that today, and I was like, wait, I usually don't stream Saturday night, so I'll just record it later tonight. Basically, I just keep kicking the can down the road. I just got to do it before the end of the year. I have, what, 7-8 days? Plenty of time. Okay, so Joshua Lewis here is a faction leader. He should be able to move, and if the game's paused, I right-clicked on this. The game's paused, so he can't move. So he's gonna be. This is gonna be the same. We're not changing this. I keep pausing it for some reason. But if we click on him and we recruit him as an army leader, he has this little gun. So now we know he's an army leader. When we right-click on this, it should say that you're like, do you want to declare war? And then this faction should be able to respond, should know that you're declaring war, and its response should be that it spawns a hero army, and it spawns a hero that then it converts that hero to an army, and it prepares for war, basically. When we get the real thing going, we'll have like mustering where it takes time, so it, and you'll be able to see the different armies that are neighboring you, so that, like, if you see an army sitting here, you probably want to muster your own army in preparation. And that's one of the things I really want to do, is have these armies that are sitting so that you know that you, like, just in the neighboring ones, you wouldn't be able to see it if there's ones over here. And we might, I'm hoping we don't have to do this today, but we might have to tell who the neighbors are to these counties, and we might, like, that might be one of the first things we have to do. Which, when we generate these automatically, I'm going to do this generation a different way, I'm pretty sure, via like a colored map. I have a whole nother project that I've been testing and working on that he comes into chat sometimes. His name's Wind of Flatus. He's writing like this system for doing that, and I've been like using his code to kind of work on it. So that's what we got to do today. So the first step would be, we basically, this first, and I was trying to think if we should do events or not, and I don't think we're going to do events yet. But the first thing should be, we're going to make this as simple as possible to start with. When you have an army and you right click on this, it has to check to see if this is your faction or not. And if it's not your faction, it does something. And we have all these things. I think, so like with this work and the banker, these are instances that all of the different factions are accessing these instances. I don't think that's the best way to do this. I think they should all have their own thing. And we're going to leave this like this, but with diplomacy, we're going to do it where they have every faction has their own diplomacy type thing. So let's first go to player movement here, not up there. Let's go to this script it's token movement. And I got to change my music already that you guys can't hear. It's really loud. And it's really not what I want to listen to. We'll just do whatever that is. Did this finish? All right, so token movement's pretty simple right now. It just tests if it reaches the destination, and it's, you know, in the physics process, if move is true, and then it moves via just move towards. I might switch this over to nav mesh, but I haven't decided. I kind of like the straight lines, kind of like CK3 or any of the Paradox games, and it would, you know, be reflected by what type of territory you're moving through. But right now, it doesn't do any of that shit. So this is actually controlled by, it looks like, now that I think about it, select county. When you right click on a county, left click, right click, it says you right clicked, dude. All right, it says if the token is not null, it does this shit. And then it does, if move token is not already true, so if it's false, it does this stuff. And so this is where we're going to be adjusting this, where we got to like see, like, is this token an army? So let's see here. And that will be the first thing I guess we should check. If select token county population is army leader equal to false, it will do this stuff. It actually needs to do this stuff every time, but it needs to do something first. So we should probably bust this out into its own little method. What the fuck is this thing actually doing, though? Remove county population from the heroes starting. Okay. Is this thing... So this is actually starting the move right here. So let's make this a method instead of all of this stuff. And, you know, there's... People always get upset about the pyramids here. So let's see if there's any way we can make this less pyramidy. Um, if it's already moving, it goes home. Because that's what you want. We want it so, like, if you change your mind, you can send them home. You're going to be declaring war, though, right off the bat. So that might not be the best idea. It's going to warn you, though. So this looks like this is actually the move part. So let's put this underneath here. Actually, you know what I can do is we'll just put this. I should probably double check my life here. I don't know why sometimes my little text message thing appears, my little message in chat appears so quickly. Sometimes it doesn't show up at all. Start move is what we're going to call this, I guess. And we'll generate this. We'll copy this all over here. We're going to try to break everything down into smaller parts, but we don't have select token anymore. So this stuff, is it used down here? It is used down here. Do we have it used here twice? Let's cut this and we'll see if things appear up there. Yeah, we have one thing there. That's fine, I guess. We're using this county pop here. We're using this in both places. That's why I stuck that up there, because we got to check both. We could pass it in, I suppose. Just out of laziness? Laziness? No. We need to pass in what? Select token, and or we could make it up here. We could put it up at the top. Let's do that. Is this used? I'm trying to think if... No, this has to be used. Let's just make it. Did I make a copy of this? I don't know what I did. Let's put this up here. And then this, and make this private. And make this private. Whoops. Private. Private. Get rid of this crap. 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 Then all of our problems are solved. There we go. We don't have to pass it in or anything. So now that we fuck with some stuff, let's test this. So if the army leader is false, let's just err on the side of caution here. I'm gonna probably take out this log thing as well. Now my music's too quiet. Okay, so that still works. And we have this set up so that this is we own 2 counties so that we can do our testing. In the real game, we won't start out with 2 counties. Everyone's going to start out with 1 county. The capitals, they're real life capitals, but the capital of each state or province is going to have more people, is my thought process. I don't know how much we'll do that, but so that works. So if it does that, else we need to have another test in here. We need to say, is this... We need to look at the faction of the destination county and say who owns this. So first off, I think on globals we have it set so that right-clicking is saved somewhere. If it isn't, we need to do that. I don't see it. I don't see one. Let's go back to our token. It's not token movement. It's select county. Let's move this the fuck over here though, because we're gonna come on, get in there, because and we'll pin it. I guess I could have just pinned it. So we write. How are we getting this other information of where its destination is? What is this? Select a location, get child, county population, location, hero movement, target. That's its actual position. Destination equals the county data ID. We're using its ID for some reason. There's probably a reason behind that. So this is right click, huh? We might have to rewrite some stuff. Hero move target. County. Man, I cannot remember how I did this because this doesn't make any sense. This doesn't give us any information. Event mouse button index is right. And what are we? Okay, so we're getting this because it's a select. We're getting the select county when we right click off of this. We get the actual select county from there, which is what that is called. That's like some old Unity stuff. So we have the select county, and this is our current selected token because you have to have a selected token. The select tokens county population is that, right? Then start move. The selected, so location county, which is the one we've clicked on, equals the county population. This is the starting location though. And then the destination is getting this county data that we have right here. Okay, so that's how we're doing that. So we need to, in this county data, I'm pretty sure we have, let's pull up this county data. And I think that's, because I said data, it's, yeah, we have faction data in there. Okay, so this isn't going to be that hard, I guess. So if this is true, we need to check if select token, does the token know what county it's in? I can't remember. What do we got in here? County population. It doesn't know, which is probably going to be a problem. No, I guess not. It's going to be your faction, so if it's currently player faction, so how are we going to do this for the? Because we need to have this work for the AI too, so eventually. So it needs to know its own faction, like what its own faction is, and currently we have like a thing that's like a this is this thing now, county population. We have county data, county population. This is the one we were just looking at. It doesn't know who it belongs to. County data has this. So, and we have one called player faction, but I don't want to use the player faction because that's not going to work for the AI. Does the token movement know what faction it's in? We're going to probably have to add to the county population that it knows what faction it's in. Which isn't the end of the world. It's just more data that needs to be stored for every single human. Or, let's see. what will be control? Like I said, this is gonna get fucking complicated. What will be controlling these movements for the AI? The AI is going to be. I think it's gonna know its own. It has to know its own faction. It's going to be in like a, well, let's set this up to work with the player first, and then we'll deal with the other shit when we get to it. Let's do that. And yeah. Faction data is equal to county data dot faction data. Then we'll do GD print for now, and we'll just say you can't. Or no, we will say we'll do the start move here. This is just gonna go start move, and else you can't. Whoops. You can't move here. So this is an army. We'll put it because you're an army. Because you are an army. This is a terrible song that you guys cannot hear. I can't pronounce the name of the band because it's in a different language. We'll just pick that other thing. And let's see. So now this should not allow us to move as if we're an army. We'll test it first as a normal thing. Kenneth here. Oh, I accidentally clicked on the wrong thing. I swear I clicked like right here. I wonder if its thing is off. It doesn't matter right now. But that does. We need to spawn it from our own. And in fact, we should probably let's do that first. We'll make it so we can't spawn armies that are in other counties, even though it was good for testing. All right, that was fine. Then let's convert this guy to an army. And it says, we got all these other things. You can't move here because you're an army. Now my music's too quiet. What the fuck, man? All right, music that you can't hear. So that works right. Let's put in a note here. Stop allowing spawning of armies/heroes in counties you don't own. We're going to have to put in some, I was calling it in Unity, I was calling it dev mode, where you could just do all that stuff for testing and whatnot, but it turned later on, dev mode was causing me all these issues where things would work and not work, and so I'm going to have to rewrite rethink how that's going to work. So right now we're just setting it up as if you were playing the game. It's going to make testing hard, but we'll figure that out too. So now let's change this. You are about to declare war because you're an army. Then we're going to need this diplomacy thing. We need to call like a diplomacy thing. That's like your faction diplomacy. So let's go back to faction data. And we're going to need to add a new thing that's called diplomacy. And we don't have that even, it doesn't even exist in the most simple of forms. Well, actually, I guess it needs to pop up a window first, a declaration of war window. So let's do that first. Like I said, this is going to get extremely complicated, and I haven't, a lot of this stuff I had already done in Unity, so I was just moving over the concept. But we're past that now. Unity's in the rear view window, or rear view mirror, as we say. Uh, so for now, let's add another control. I was trying to see if I should be using one of these other base things, and we'll call this the declare war control. We're gonna have to redo this thing we're gonna have to redo too. I was doing it weird. This should probably be above the event log, and then we're gonna add one of those things, I forget what they're called. Confirm, the fuck are they called? I used one, there we go. We're gonna add one of these guys, and we're gonna do stuff to it. Title. Well, actually, let's put this back. We're gonna control the title from this declare war thing. So basically, as I go through, I'm writing like this most simple as I can, and then when we hit this area again, I keep expanding because I don't know what I'm gonna need farther down the line because I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. So, change that to yes. Let's make it so we can see this thing. And then there's a way. We'll center that fucker up. That's gonna be fine. It says please confirm ... That's the title. I think that you can, here we go. You can also put shit in here. And that's where we're gonna put the shit. So before we even do that, let's go back to our select county here, and we're gonna put a new thing called declare war, and we'll implement a new method here, and we're gonna need in select county. You know what, we'll put this, so this is back to my dilemma that I've had for quite a while. So in my other game that's much simpler, I have all of the UI stuff I basically have in a script right here. I've been sticking most of the UI stuff up here, and I don't know if well, actually that's not true. I've been sticking it to these things. They have their built-in stuff, but at this point it should be here, I guess. We're gonna call this we're gonna create a new script here called declare war control, and we're gonna browse to where this should go. These are UI scripts though. And we're gonna need ready. We're not gonna need this shit. Waffle, how's it going? Thank you for the follow. We're gonna need an export. Now my music's too loud again in my ears. I know you guys can't hear it. Export private. This is what is that thing called? A confirm dialogue. War dialogue. And this, we're gonna need a public static declare war control instance, and then we're gonna need instance equals this. I always forget that. I forgot my namespace. This is player space. I have another, when I get to that part where I'm configuring the map, or it's generating automatically via the different color coded stuff, I'm going to have it I got sidetracked mid sentence and glanced at something and forgot what the fuck I was talking about. Don't get old. It's awful. I have this weird like lump growing on my face. You you probably can see it. It looks really weird from an angle. Yeah, don't get old, man. Getting old sucks. Live fast, die young. Um, what the fuck was I talking about? I don't know. We need to build this and put this in here because I forgot what I was doing. That control? I guess that control's fine. No, fuck that control. That control needs to be like this. And then we also need to make it so we can click through it. Actually, no, we don't. We need to put this in here. We don't actually want to click through that. All right, so this thing, player war control show. We need this instance in here though. We're just going to show that whole control. It will be over, it will block everything so you can't click through it. That will open up declare war control instance confirmation. Did I make it private? I probably did. Yep. That's my another thing I like to do. I like to err on the side of private over public. What is it? Text? The fuck is this thing called? Dialogue text. And that's going to equal. Are you sure you want to declare war? So this is back to our all text shit that I really haven't been following. I really need to do a tutorial on how localization works. We have this all text thing that is I should be using here. This, what kind of order is this in? And this is in no order. This should probably be in alphabetical order. Diplomacy descriptions, diplomacies, diplomacize, diplomacies. I don't think that. Diplomacy. I think it's just plural all the time. Diplomacy. Give me. Where's my dictionary? Here. This will. It's very bright on my face. Plural. Plural. It is diplomacies. I feel like I spelled it wrong, though. Guess I didn't. Okay. All text diplomacies will do public. Jesus Christ. Public constant string declare war. And then we'll go back to this thing. I was about to half-ass it, but you know, let's just do it right from the beginning. Got all sorts of shit in here. Are you sure you want to declare war against... What is going on here? So I cannot spell my way out of a wet paper bag. So that's one of the reasons why I want everything in like this all text area. Besides, oh look, we got a little dollar sign right there. We should do that here. Uh, Besides the localization, it's also like when I stream a lot of indie games on my other channel, uh, and I'm blown away by the number of typos and stuff in indie games. And I fucking suck at that shit. I have typos and whatever. But this makes it easier for me to find them. You know, I can just look in this one file instead of having to dig through all the code for stuff. So back to this. We'll go all text. Diplomacies. Declare war. You know what I think I can do? Because I put that thing. Actually, I don't know. Then we need to have the county. I don't know how this is gonna work. We'll we'll see. Joker, how's it going? How's your? We're almost on Christmas, aren't we? It's like 2 days away or something. How's your Christmas preparations going? All right, so this is gonna say, do you want to declare war? Let's make sure that this shit works. Name my layers. What layers? Hey, what's going on here? Stop. Didn't I tell this thing to not be here? Oh, you know, this happened in the other thing. For some reason, it's independent of its own control, of its control. Uh, it's weird that it's that way. I wonder if I can, like, link it. I think I did this exact same thing. All right, what we'll do instead here is we'll tell it, we'll do a thing here. We'll do a thing here on visibility changed with a D. It's because it's its own window. It's not a user interface element. But I want it to be. If visible equals true, else then we'll just do, I think this should work. We will do on visible changed. I have to scroll through all this shit because the developers of Godot hates me. They hate me. They're just me that they hate. It's at the bottom though. We're almost there. And we don't need this advanced crap. Visible. I think this is spelled wrong. Speaking of that, yeah, these are different. Let's spell some stuff right. On visibility changed. Visibility. All right. You know what? I normally copy and paste this. Visibility. Okay. Now we're good. I think it should just default to the one that you're coming from, and you can scroll up or down. I don't know why it defaults to the top. It's just weird. It's because the developers hate me, and it's just me. How are we testing this? We got to do this. We got to go to here. We got to recruit you. We got to close that. We got to move you to here. Are you sure you want to declare war against AI Faction 2? What an original name. Then we could click that. Um, um, it's not a part of that. This is a different thing. This is not the can you not just say, oh, I see what you're saying. That is, yeah, I guess I could just have those equal the same. I'm not going to do that though. That's a good idea. But I already did this, so I'm just going to leave it like that. Because then later I'm going to wonder what the fuck that is. Even though, no, I am going to do that. I like that idea. So let's get rid of all this and this. And we'll go equals. And then I guess I don't even have to put this in here. Then we'll test it again. My job is, I'm an IT manager in real life. In real life. All right, we're going to test this. My day job, we're going to spawn this. Yes. It's pretty cool. So when I say I'm IT manager, I'm like 75% help desk. What do you do? Like most of my job is just people, they email me or call me about their IT issues. Hopefully they're not my IT issues. For one company. In my fake life, I am a warrior for this village. I'm the protector. And it's really, there isn't anything to protect them from, so I just lay around on one of those, what are those couches that like shrinks have? I just lay around on there and eat grapes. So printers, so I used to hate all the printer issues that I would get, but now I think I am a firm believer that printers keep IT employed. They're just so many, they're just made like shit. They don't have standards of how their drivers work. The whole thing's just fucking chaos. And without those, like 90% of IT would be out of work. And so now I'm happy that they exist, because that's like a regular thing. I stopped complaining about it because it's so common. Like this one coworker always is like, "I'm so sorry, I'm calling you about my printer again," and I'm just like, it keeps me fed. It's so it used to be. I actually looked this up. Because I was curious. It used to be password help and printers were the two IT things. And password help has gone down a lot since like two-factor came and whatnot. Two-factor is still a thing, but like people are like kind of get the clue now of password stuff. But the printer thing hasn't changed. I mean, there's many fewer printers. COVID actually did a good job with. That's a common thing. Joker, they'll be like, I can't get into this website. What's my password? And I'll be like, oh, fuck would I know? But then I just help them reset it. But that's way less than it used to be. That used to be like 50% of my job, and then the other 40% was printer stuff. And COVID got rid of a lot of the printers too, which is kind of a bummer. They're kind of on their way back in, which is weird. So now that we have this thing, where's our select county here? It will pop up that thing, and then on this declare war control, we're going to have to put, God damn my music today. I know you guys can't hear it. When I was like 19, I uh, worked at a college radio station, for college. And there's like, college rock is like a thing. And for some reason, the past few days, YouTube Music is just recommending me college rock. It hasn't changed. Like the sound hasn't changed since 1992. They're new bands, but uh, it's weird, and I'm not into that. It's like you know what it's like genera rock. Someone mentions called someone called a band once, and they were like it's genera rock, where it's like generic, That's what college radio station, it's non-offensive. It's not too heavy. It's not too soft. The singer's usually kind of whiny. Uh, Yeah, the having different passwords thing is also another thing in my job that I wish more people did. Well, I want people to be offended. I'm talking about like punk rockness. All right, if we push yes though, this is where the complications come in. We have to now connect this yes to like a declaration of war with this other faction. Which is where the diplomacy is going to come in. So I think this is what we're going to do. We're not going to do it like this, like I was saying. We're going to have a script that is just for diplomacy. That every faction gets a new one. I think this is the way we want to do this. Diplomacy. And it's not going to be a node. I mean, I guess it could. It's going to be a public class, actually, I think. How did I do that in my other one? Let me look. I'm pretty sure this one here. Everyone gets their own combat one. I'm pretty sure. The fuck is this? This breaks like every rule that I follow with my code. You know how I could test this? Or look at this. I think of this one. Well, here's one. Pathfinding, the AI all get their own pathfinding. So what is my pathfinding script? It is. It's a public class. It's just so that's what we're gonna do. So I've been thinking about actually having nukes in the game, in nuclear wastelands. Well, probably not, but it is a thought where you could just nuke someone. Where's my new diplomacy thing? I haven't opened it yet, I don't think. We're gonna move this into here. diplomacy. Just making sure that I get this out of here and get this out of here. And we'll get those out of here for now. I think we're going to need to use Godot, though. And then I don't know if we're going to need ready. Yeah, we're going to need using Godot. I think. Diplomacy? Diplomacy. 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 There's diplomacy. No, that's right. Diplomamancy? Diploma gunk? Magonk? Diploma gonk? There we go. All right, I think... How did I do this pathfinding thing? Let's see, is this still open? This just looks like gibberish to me. I mean, I guess this works how we want it to work. Yeah, this will. Well, I think this is, so we'll just do, it has using Godot. I guess we're just not using Godot yet. What's your problem with ready, though? We can't do a ready one, which is actually okay. We don't need ready. We need to, we need to deploy the Magonk. No, we need, respond to war. How are we going to do this, though? Like I said at the beginning of this stream, this is going to get really complicated, like right off the bat. So we say yes. No. This is going to be declare war. So our faction will run from our diplomacy public script, will run declare war on someone. And we'll just do a GD print to make sure that this is working. You have declared war. Maybe. Whoops. I keep hitting that lately. Control D. Okay, so on this, if you hit the yes button, we need to add this to our faction data, though. Our faction data, which I thought I had open, there it is. We're gonna put it is player, faction name, capitals, research, county zone, faction leaders. I think we should put it right here. And this is gonna be a private diplomacy called diplomacy, and we're gonna go like new, and then when we're here we should be able to do player, faction, globals, instance, player, faction data, diplomacy. Then we can go diplomacy. We need this to be public too. I gotta baby step this shit. Every single thing has to be like perfectly baby stepped here because we're moving into new uncharted territories. We need to go back to this little guy, and we need to have a thing here. that is this. What did I call this thing? Yes button. Now, you can pick. Oh, it doesn't like that, huh? Am I in the, oh, I'm in the wrong spot right here. We can pick to, oh, it doesn't like that either. Meme Maker, how's it going? And your favorite, how's it going? Um, I wonder why this isn't on the pick list. Oh, because I haven't built it yet, probably. All right, let's try this again. Baby steps. Kind of like a long thing to get to this test, though. There's many steps to get here. All right, are you sure you want to declare war against AI Faction 2? Yes, you have declared war, maybe. Let's do this again. Oh, I think I broke it at that point, though. That's closed. I was thinking maybe... I am making a game. I'm making a 2D 4X game. It's in its infancy. Yeah, this is still open, is the problem. So we need to close that when this thing changes. We'll do the same exact thing we did over here. The problem, so when this thing changes, well, we don't have a, we'll just do it this way. Because the problem is we can't click through this. We don't want to be able to click through it. Hide. We'll just hide it. And that will hide the other thing. Awesome, man. Thank you. It's in the, like I said, very early infancy. I'm just using, I'm going to have all of North America eventually. I just have 4 counties, as I'm calling them right now, as test counties. And I'm going to actually change how I do this. I think I'm going to do it more like Paradox, where you have like a color-coded map. I've kind of tested around with it. There's another person who comes into chat named Wind of Flatus, and he's writing like a generic map thing that kind of sets the maps up similar to how Paradox does it. And I've been stealing his code and adding it. And I'm just not ready to move over to that way of generating counties because I don't understand it enough. Like it's pretty complicated for my noob existence. All right, let's see. So we say yes. Now can I click on stuff again? I can. And then let's see if I can still move between mine. And now we've declared war. That's in quotes there. And everything that I'm doing in the tiniest little increments, and then I go to like the next thing on the project. This is all open source, and I have like a project in GitHub where I go to each thing. So now, if we look at my list here, so this is done, but this isn't. It asks you to declare war. It doesn't do us any. um, we probably should do this next, and we should probably do that next. But we need a response. I guess that's under this diplomacy thing. So let's fix this, and then we'll move to this diplomacy thing. So we also need to make these buttons stop working now. So when we click on this, we shouldn't be able to click on this actually. We shouldn't actually be able to see these, I don't think. Let me think here. Maybe we could see it, but we can't click on it if it's a faction that we don't own. We can see the people there. Yeah, we should be able to see the people there because we're going to need to be able to see ourselves, but we need to disable this from being a button if it's not us, because we can actually move. Oh, well, I guess we can't right now because this is an army and I have no way to turn armies off. VS Code is good. That's what I started with, and then I went to Unity, and I figured I would, since it was C#, I would embrace a whole Microsoft thing and go with Visual Studio, and now I don't want to switch back. Let's spawn somebody over here. Uh-oh. I can't click on some stuff again. Is this open again? It is. Because I hit cancel. And cancel, what does cancel do? Cancel, well, I guess I'm going to have to make another thing for the cancel button. We got to go to local. Yeah, I'm going to have to do another one that's private void cancel button. And we just want this thing to hide. That's all we want it to do. Somehow this is over chat a little bit. Doesn't. That would have you done much work in binary? We were talking about the esoteric languages the other day. The blank space one's one of my favorites, and there's another one that's pretty much just all gibberish. But you can program in it. We gotta link this thing. We can stop this. We gotta link this thing to this to this. And copy the spaces. That's interesting. And gotta turn this person into an army leader. Gotta spawn them. Gotta declare war. Gotta cancel. Alright, that worked that time. So there's a series of bootleg punk rock albums called Killed by Death, and that's what I got the idea for the channel name from that. They got their name off like a fucking Motley Crue song or something. All right, so this is working now. What was I testing when it stopped working? I don't remember. It's actually been an hour. This is since I lost track of what I was doing. This is a perfect time for me to go take a break, and I will be back in less than 5 minutes. Let me throw up my break timer here, and I will be right back. All right. I was thinking about this outside when I was having a smoke. I guess it shouldn't be that complicated. It's gonna get more complicated when they declare war on each other. But we're not gonna do that today. That's a different. Well, not probably for a while. Jimmy, how's it going? So let's see. When they get declared war upon, we have to respond to that. So on this declare war, we either need to put in. So I was originally thinking an event. We also need to start moving let's start moving the token first, I guess. Uh, so this thing is attached to faction data. This is going to declare war when you hit yes. That's this thing. It's going to declare war, and this thing is attached to nothing. It should go globals, instance, selected, currently selected token. And what do we have on that? We need to do this start move, actually. So that goes to there. That goes to here. So I was thinking about doing it as an event. It's going to be kind of weird, though, if we do it as an event. So let's keep it simple for this for now until we get it more complicated. So this is actually going to be currently selected county. Did I have this? This is private. This needs to be public. So if you hit yes, it should start the move. Let's see if that even works. So we gotta spawn them. We gotta turn them into this. We gotta say yes. We gotta go close. We gotta do that. We gotta spawn. We gotta say yes, and then we got a debug issue here. Okay, so this thing that I was fucking with earlier, it can't be here. It needs to be down here. Or we need to pass it in. The thing that's weird, where did I not do a namespace? Oh, the thing that's weird, I guess not weird. The thing that is, we're going to be doing it twice. So we would do it here. We need it here for this stuff. And then we do it again here. Is that what we want to do? I mean, I guess it doesn't really matter. But I feel like assigning things twice is kind of dumb. Try to assign things as little as possible, I would assume. Alright, let's go through all these steps again here. Yeah, you're not moving there, buddy. You're supposed to be. Alright, so what do we miss when we start this move? Man, I'm back to the college music. Like I was saying earlier, like they all like some of them sound kind of like Sonic Youth. That's the I mean Sonic Youth is fine, but it's not what I really want to listen to right now. I know you guys can't hear my music. Um, did this thing say? Yeah, let's take out of like some of these debug or these logs here. So I have less shit that I gotta look through. Reassign. We don't need this right now. We don't need this. We don't need this. What else do we got clogging up shit? Has. I think the word has is probably. We want that one. That was important at the time. Now it's just, I wanted to make sure I could see it. The buildings button has been pressed. We don't need that. We don't need this. Oh, I could search by rainbow, actually. Here we go. There it is. And let's run this again. Mouse is inside the token. We probably could get rid of that. That's some weird. Clicking through things was not working how it should, and so I had to make some bizarro shit. Let's make sure we can move this guy around just normally. And then let's recruit them. And then you should move, but you're not. You've declared war, maybe. Did I not link this through correctly? This is yes button, hides that. It says declare war, which doesn't really do much of anything except put a debug log. And then it says start move. And start move. I wonder if these things aren't getting assigned right. Currently selected. Blank has location of blank. Look at all that shit. And get rid of that stuff too. Let's just go through and get rid of some of this stuff. That one I need. That one I kind of want. That one I want. That one I want. This one I don't want. This one I don't want. 24/7 newsroom, how's it going? This one. This whole thing is just like a test thing. We can get rid of this whole for each thing. That doesn't work, so we can just leave that there. What is this in? County population generation? We don't need this massive fucking debug or log thing. We don't need this at all right now. That's just for testing that stuff. And all right, what the fuck is all this stuff? We don't need this. That was for yesterday's stuff. Yesterday and the day before. That we need. The fuck is this? That we need. That we need. This path thing, I'm going to leave that in there. That's a whole different issue. But it only happens once at the beginning. I guess that's fine. Those I want. I want that. I want that. Maybe. You're fucked. This directory doesn't exist. We want that one because we want to know when we're fucked. We don't need this one. Um, I haven't been paying attention if my little chat thing on screen is working. This is a building improvement. We don't need this GD print. We don't need this one. I thought I looked earlier, but I next time someone messages, I gotta pay attention. It's not that reliable. Yes was pressed. This is the building confirmation. We don't need this right now. Velocity, the camera controls. We don't need to look at that stuff, but they are, yeah, it looks like we're back at the, nope, we're not. We don't need that. We don't need any of these right now, I don't think. Those are just when we're testing some other stuff. What the fuck is this? Hero stacker? Jeez. That's gonna be a pain in the ass. We're not gonna probably encounter that, hopefully, right this second. The fuck is this? Oh, right. We'll leave that for now. Actually, no, we'll take that. I'll wonder what the fuck that is later. You've pressed the building button? Building button? That's not where we're not calling it that anymore. We're calling it, well, I guess it, no, it should be the county improve. Not enough color options. I guess we need that one. Uh, Army leader recruited. I guess, just in case to check. These ones, I don't think we need. That one we could. That was the one we just looked at. We won't really be using these right now. Man, I put a lot of these things in here. it's how I test stuff. Uh, this one we definitely don't want to see anymore. That shit happens way too often. You have clicked on that one we kind of do want, just in case weird shit starts happening later. All right, we went through all these things, and then let's do this again and see what's going wrong with my right click after you say yes. It should just start moving. Start move should turn the thing on. I think maybe like the selected hero or whatever is not selected anymore. Something's breaking when we right click. I think that's what's going on. You have declared war. You're about to declare war because you're an army. You've declared war, maybe. Lewis has a location of 1, which is that one. It says that Lewis has got to its destination. Okay, so that's the problem here. Is we're not setting the destination right. It's got to be under this start move. Uh, has a location of, that's right. And then it's after this. Destination equals county ID, county data, county ID. Well, this shouldn't work for anybody. But it does. So, where are we getting this county data? I bet you this is not. This is the problem. This thing is getting assigned somewhere. Where are we getting this county data shit? This is left click, though. How does this shit ever work? This is how it returns home. This is the county. Oh, that's why. Okay, so what's happening is this is the county data that's attached to this script, and that's why this is working. But we're calling this from another script, and this thing doesn't. It's not here. So what we can do? Well, I think no. That should still. Let's do this. Let's do GD print. Uh, county data something here. We'll just put like the name or something. But I think, well, we'll get the county data ID and see what this is printing when we do this. But I think we're gonna have to rewrite this probably is what's gonna happen. Uh, but that's fine. That's expected as we go through and get back to stuff. There's already stuff I wrote today that I know I'm gonna have to rewrite. You recruit, yes. And whoops, we already did you. We need to spawn you. County data 3, 0, 1, 2, 3. That seems right. See, it was supposed to have popped up that thing. We're an army. Oh, you know why? Because it was paused. So if you're going to a place and you click another place, it makes you go home. Um, you're about to declare war. County data 1. That's not where I clicked though. Um, So what it's doing, I know what it's doing. It's remembering because I'm doing. We need to have somewhere up here currently selected token. I guess we never use. It's still thinking that I'm. So I left click to spawn a hero. I'm left clicking on one of these, and that sets that currently selected county thing. But this should still be getting the county data off my right click. I guess it's not. It's getting it off of. There's a really easy way to fix this, but I just want to make sure that what I'm doing is what I'm doing. Where is this shit? We don't need the hero stacker. We don't need the faction AI. We don't need the county generation. We don't need the camera controls. We don't need the building confirmation. We don't need the banker. We don't need this stuff. We might need diplomacy. We might need this one. Random faction colors. We don't need that. Selected. This is why. It's because it's that we're not keeping track of that. All right, so there's an easy way to fix this. And I thought I already had a right click one here, but I don't. It's weird. How have I gotten away without having a right click, keeping track of the right click thing? I guess I've never needed it up to here. Selected items. So we're gonna go. We want a selected county here. We're gonna go export public. Whoa. Public. Select county. Selected. Right click county. We're gonna save this. We're gonna rename this shit to selected. Left click. This is used all over the place, except I did it wrong. Selected left click county. And then we're going to go back to our select county script here. And on right click, we're going to globals instance selected right click county equals this. Come on. Fingers did not like me. Then when we go to, where was that shit? It was declare war. We're going to go right click. And then we're going to save all that shit, hopefully. And we're going to restart this. Like I only wrote that code like a couple of months ago. But I've forgotten completely how it works. This guy is not an army leader yet. It shouldn't actually matter. And then if we unpause, now he's on his way. And then we can move him away, which probably we'll have to fix when we go to combat. All right, well, let's make sure that, let's restart it and make sure he's not a, if he's not, like, let's just move him around a little bit, make sure I didn't fuck something up here. Philip, can you go to here? Can you go to here? Oh, look at that though. Oh, he's not a guy yet. Whatever. Let's recruit a new one. Just a new normal person. And spawn him and move him around as well. Just to make sure that there's nothing weird going on. And let's turn you into an army leader. And are you sure? Yes. And our stacking is still working. So that's everything. We're going to have to ditch this, though. You know, someone in chat mentioned that the way they would have done it is if you clicked on one, it would show a list and you could, like, select from the, like a, not a list. I mean, it's a list, but it's horizontal. And I think I might actually go with that. I don't really like that's it's a compromise, but all right. So he's gonna declare war and he'll start moving, and that is the one thing that we had to get done. No, we have to do this. So how we're going to do that is when the panel opens, the county panel opens. I have to change my music that you guys can't hear again. I don't know what is going on. Whenever I'm streaming, I feel like YouTube Music really likes to play music I don't like. Okay, what the fuck were you doing? All right, so when the county info panel opens, we need to have it so you can't click on like their population button. When I say that, I mean we need it to like this button shouldn't work. This button should work. And these buttons shouldn't work. None of these buttons should work, basically. You should still be able to see these guys, but you shouldn't be able to interact with them. And there's actually probably an easier way. Well, it's not easier. There's going to be a. We need to probably actually do it from. Let me think about this. When you click on this, this is a button somewhere. Let's just pin this over here because we're going to be doing a bunch of shit to it. So on visibility change with true, how am I doing this? I wrote this kind of a while ago, so it's probably dated with how I'm doing stuff. So disable disable spawn. Okay, that's for everything in that list. Oh, this is that thing I wrote yesterday or whatever. There's a bunch of disabled code in here. That's a different thing though. I mean, we're going to be dealing with that, but differently. What the fuck does this do? Okay, so on visibility change, this is just for idle workers. When this thing pops up, is select county controlling this? That seems like a dumb shit way to do it. Oh, it is. Why did we do it that way? That's a dumb shit way to do it, like I said. Wind, how's it going? I was just talking about you earlier. It was good things. I was talking about your generic, it's not generic, game system map thing. Oh, I didn't check to see if my chat thing was working right. I think we're going to change this all right now to be controlled by this. So when the visibility changes, we'll just update all of this stuff. I think these updates need to happen at certain times, but when like things change, when you've been fucking with stuff in another panel, they need to update. But in this particular case, when they on visibility change, they should just happen. and I'm not sure why I put them. Maybe I don't know. This is like one of the first things I wrote in Godot, so maybe I didn't know what this was. So we want. Let me go back to the select county, and I'm just gonna take a screenshot of this thing, so I know my list of things I need. So we need updates, name labels. We need update county population labels. We need update idle workers label. Really? That doesn't even, oh, I guess it does do something now. And then we need it to generate the panel list. So all of those things should happen. I guess I could have just copied them over. And we're going to comment all these out, and we're going to see how this works here. What is this last thing? That needs to be there. The fuck is this thing doing? I guess it's sort of working. Then let's see if this, what I did, if it broke a bunch of shit. I think maybe it was happening too fast, so I moved it over there. If that's the case, we'll do it differently. Oh, this is open. Oh, that's why that's over there. Because when you click on a new one, it just needs to update this thing every time. Motherfucker. We're going to fix that. We're going to change this. We're going to have... Then we'll put over to here. Yeah, because every time you click, you gotta update all that shit. I forget why I was even fucking with this. Oh, I know why. Okay, so that actually, now we know what, let's do this. Just make sure that this is working. Yeah, so then what we're gonna need, when this is updating, we need to check though, like, do you own all this stuff? And if you don't, then we need it to, we need it to update, but we need it to also, so like this thing, we need this to show every time and update every time. Generating the hero list, what are we doing here? We're blow away the hero list, then we go back through, but in here, oh, this is the thing we did yesterday. In here, what is this? Oh, that was that. We need to have this. Now, this is going to make the, there's going to be a, like I said, this is going to, this little thing that should be simple is going to cause all sorts of complications later. I'm going to move all this code out of here, though. All this commented out stuff. I didn't get a chance to look at it. I used ChatGPT for this thing yesterday, and we were discussing stuff, and I just wanted to like reaffirm it in my brain of how it works. That's why all that shit was there. But now it's in my way. This is like I'm not that familiar with pattern switches or whatever they're called. And when I say not that familiar, this is the first one I've ever used, and it's a Chat GPT written one. So I just wanted to look at it later with the old if statement in there. All right, so we have two things going on here. So let's do it with this one because it's going to be easier to test. If player faction uh, player faction data, sure, is not is equal county data. Nope. County data. No, there's no county data saved here. No, it's not saved there, but we have it saved somewhere else. Where the fuck was I just typing? Come here. We have it on globals, instance, county, selected county data is right here. Count faction data. So if this doesn't equal this, then we need this button. Man, this is going to be a pain in my fucking ass. We need this button to stop working, which is, do we keep track of this button somewhere? It doesn't look like we are. This also, well, we'll get to that. Containers and shit. Let's put some export group buttons. And then we're going to need privates. It needs a P privates population button. Population button. Population list button. And then we're going to need another. What the fuck was the other ones? This one doesn't work right now anyways. County improvement is the other two. And then the other ones are already, they already know their buttons, so we'll disable those a different way. Private button, county improvements button. Then we'll go back over here because I'm going to forget this shit. We're going to build this, hopefully. And we will put that there. And this here. And back to here. Man, once again, my music is just fucking with me today. I just don't understand it. Like now it's playing the music that I want to hear, but it's one song's really loud and the next one's really low and the next one's really loud again. Where were we doing this? If this does not equal that, we need the county. I was just thinking there's another way we could do this. Population. The fuck did I call this thing? Population button? Population list button. In fact, there is going to be another. I'm not going to do this right here. Disabled equals true. What we're going to do, get the fuck out of here. What is your problem? Oh. What we're going to do is we're going to have a new method here. Private method. Check for ownership. And then we'll do improvements. I saw it right there. Jesus Christ. Else. Why do I always hit that P? Why? Why do I always got to hit that thing? Yeah. And then will you do it for me? No. Disabled equals false. And then up here, check for ownership. Then we'll read. Wait, we gotta close this. I still haven't fixed the thing where it will check. Actually, you know, when I was looking at back to Windoflatus's code, he has a lot of stuff going on in the editor, and I was looking at it and I was like, this is how you get these things to close at the beginning of the thing here. So these are disabled, and that actually worked, and we didn't get any bugs. So the plan is that as you click these, if you don't own it, it disables these things. You can know the number of population. The idle workers button is just a fake button right now. You can know this information, but you can't interact with it because you don't own it, and that seems to work. So that's the first step. The next step is we got to disable these guys as they come up. They need to check the faction. But I don't actually think we're keeping track of... We don't need this open. We don't need that open. We don't need that. We might need that. We don't need that. And player controls, we don't need that. Faction generation, we might need those two things. What else do we got? Research description panel, we don't need this shit. All this stuff's open because I searched for all those things earlier. County population, we're not keeping track of who owns what hero. The heroes, we don't know. Nobody knows what faction they're in. They just kind of flop around. And I think we need to tell them. It's going to be a bummer, though. This is back to, like, do we want a hero population, like, thing? A class for heroes and a class for county normal population, and then we copy that shit over when we move. I don't think... I think I just want to put it all in the same thing. So basically the reason we need to know is because when we open up this thing, it needs to know who Anna Kelly works for, because when we move ours over there, like let's spawn you, and we have to unpause this. And then if we click on here, it currently allows us to interact with both. This is a different faction hero, but this is ours. So they need to know who controls them. So what we need to do And I guess we'll just assign this to every single person. We could have it null, but I'm betting that we're gonna, if we need this for these guys now, we might need this shit later. So I think what we should do. Why is this a node? classic classic question of mine. It says it's a public class, but it is not. This isn't a public class. What is this thing? This is supposed to be a public class, but it's not. It's a node. Uh, let's just not worry about it. Let's not think about it. Let's just move on and not question. I don't know. That seems like a bad. Why did I do that? I don't know why I did that. You know what? It's probably because I wrote this right at the beginning. What happens if I just change this to a public class? Is the world gonna end? That's a rhetorical question. Let's see what happens. And then let's just run the game and see what implodes. It's even in my public classes folder. Oh. It's not the end of the world. This might have been some shitty workaround, though, I did. So as a node, it was chilling in there, and I could look at it, I guess. This is a terrible idea. Just all of a sudden to change something to it from a something extremely important to something less important, like to change classes, like right in the beginning, in the middle of. This is a terrible, terrible idea. What am I doing? Oh, right. We can't click on that. It seems to be working though. The reason why I'm thinking node is, I don't know, it just seems weird to have that as a node. Oh, I need to build something before I can. I was waiting for them to do something, but they don't have anything to do, so. I mean, it works. It would be kind of cool. This just dawned on me. It'd be kind of cool if you could click on that and look at all right, we'll just not think. We'll just pretend I didn't think of that idea. You can click on that and look in the building that they're actually working on. All right, I'll put it in my fucking notes here. In my fucking notes, my never-ending notes, county improvements. In the population list, where it shows which building, which county improvements the population is working on should be clickable, so it goes to that building. Man. We have a tooltip thing right there, yeah. That was like next on the list quite a while, and I kept moving it. I keep moving the tooltip thing back, and what's going to happen is I'm going to have so many fucking tooltips to do. It's going to be tedious and painful. All right, what the fuck was I doing when I just got sidetracked with that? I need to add into here, into here. We need to know what faction it is, and it's actually, I think it should be like a top thing here. And then down here, Why does this look like this? This is very bizarre. There we go. What's going on here? Are these spelled differently? Holy shit. Okay, I'm gonna fix that too. Uh, destination. Uh-oh, now I fucked up something. Well, this is so this is the county population when it goes that goes through and it adds every person. We need to assign what faction they're in. Do we know that? We do. Faction data. This is the faction leader. We're passing in the faction data, but we don't. Doesn't look like we keep track of. That's not the end of the world, though. We just got to make sure that they don't all get assigned the same faction. So in here, we can just say for each faction. Now, this isn't going to work. How are we getting this thing? Generate the population. Create faction leaders. Create population. Create population. This is cake. I don't know why. We can just go up here. We don't need this after all. Okay, when I say cake, maybe it's not going to be that cake. But we know from the county data right here what faction they're in. Whoops. Faction data. And then same thing. Right here. We know that. And I think I fucked something else up, but it hasn't warned me. I hate all these messages. I hate them. It was basically because I think I changed something. No, it was the destination thing because they were named something different. I didn't like whatchamacallit. I didn't like search for that misspelled one. Let's see if this is. Just need to spawn somebody. Well, that works. So, well, let's do this. Yeah, that works. So now everyone's going to know what faction that they're in. Every person is in, it says what faction they're in. So when we open up the generate panel list here, we're instantiating all this crap. This is a button already. Or, I mean, there's a script, but I think it's a button already. It's a script on the button. No, it's not a button. It's a hero panel container. Well, that is a confusing script name. Do I have this thing open already? We don't need this research button. Doesn't look like it. That's my checklist to start streaming. We don't need that open. I have to have a checklist for everything because my memory is so fucking terrible. Let's just open this guy up here. So we have two buttons that we need to disable. We need this one to be disabled. And we also need to disable this button that's currently just called button. I wonder if I'm calling it by name somewhere. Uh, it actually is like a hero list button. That's what it's. We're going to find out if I'm calling it by name somewhere because it's about to get imploded here. I'm going to take a quick break though, and I will be back in less than 5 minutes. I feel like I've accomplished so much today, even though I don't know if I really have. All right, I'll be right back. All right. I am back. I don't know if I was behind my break timer. Oh, I was. I've only done that a couple of times in my years of streaming here. Let me make sure that this stuff's working. My music's on. So, you know what I was just thinking about? I was actually thinking about a bunch of shit. But the thing we did earlier no longer is necessary. The thing where I said this will temporarily do it, it was like player faction. Where was that? Check for ownership. That we do. That we do. Declare war. So this is one of the, so like this isn't gonna work. We need to build. Well, you know what? We'll fix it later when we. classic, classic. Fuck myself later. We'll fix this later, and then I won't remember what the fuck is going on, and I'll be like, "Why the fuck is it like this?" As I've done 20 times today. Anyways, now that each one of these knows its thing, when we do this county info panel. Check for ownership. This definitely needs to be that way. But when we update our this thing, we have the prefab, and we also know the county population, which has the faction leader in it now. So what we need to do for each of these, you know what I didn't do is drag this over, I don't think. Did I not put an export on here? Or did I not do it at all? We need to have uh, the spawn and the fact. I just renamed it is all I did. Public button. Hero list button. Oh, I can't call it that, I don't think. Oh, I guess I can. It's the same name as that. I'm not a big fan of that. Well, we'll deal with that later too. Now we can build this and put this thing in here. Yeah, I should have called this hero panel container like I was doing before. This goes in here. I guess I should just rename it. I'm going to put that on my list and we'll do it later. This is going to be under, I'm going to like later today, hopefully. Change name of script hero list button. Like I literally, when I was creating that, I think I said that I was naming this wrong and now it's coming back to bite me. All right, so on here, when we generate this info, so this is deleting them all first, then it goes through and it assigns the name. It does, this is assigning all the icons. It adds it to the child, and we need to disable the button if we need to have an if statement in here. If faction data is not equal. Well, right now it's just play. This one is the player faction. And this only applies to the player faction because the player faction is the AI doesn't care about this because we're not the AI can't see this shit. It doesn't look at stuff. It doesn't have eyeballs. So we're gonna go hero prefab What is this a hero? What is this hero prefab thing? This is the hero list button. Did I make these private? No, they're public. Hero list. Oh, hero list prefab is not what we want. We want hero prefab button. Hero list button disabled equals true. Hero prefab. Hero spawn button disabled equals true. I don't think we actually need to turn it back on because every time it runs, it's gonna check this shit, and it should default to being on. So let's see if that is if this is like this is another day where like most of the issues are kind of easy to fix. What is your problem? Is this not assigned yet? The hero, the county population. For every county population in here, oh, all right, one more time. Like I said, most of the issues have been really easy to fix, and it's makes me concerned when this happens. All right, so this button doesn't work, and that's what we want. Now let's see if this button does work, and it does work here. So now what we got to do is move this fucker over to here, and then when we click on here, this button shouldn't work, and this button should. So we can't. Oh no, we can still spawn him though. Motherfucker, I thought I said disabled. Hero spawn button. Maybe those checkboxes work differently than I think. Let's look at this checkbox. The game's running in the background, like time is passing. This, I was just doing this on that other screen and having some similar. I want to see something if we can click this even when it comes out disabled. No, we can't. We can not click it. That's the key there. Oh, you know why? I know why. We have a check somewhere that is when this thing opens. Where's my hero list button? If toggle on equals true and the county is null, it does all of this stuff. So it turns all this stuff. No, that's the turn on button. What does this thing do? The hero button So that's when you click the button, it does this. This is when you click this button. This is whatchamacallit, a signal that it like passes in. But that should have applied to this then too. I think we can just put a check in there to be like, hey, is this... Oh, look, it comes available when you, after you click. Is that what was happening over here? So it comes available when this thing moves over. There's some kind of weirdness here. See, they both popped back. They both popped into existence there once I looked at this thing. So that when this visibility closes on that description panel, there must be something weird going on. County population description panel, which is, I guess we'll get to it this way. Look at all these labels. Call deferred, update description info. I bet you it's this thing. I wonder why this is called deferred. Update description info. Disable the, so this is passing through to the county info thing. It's saying disable it. And then that's all the other stuff. Disable spawn hero check button. True. What did we do? For each node in here, it turns this into the hero list button and it turns this to the value. And you know why that's happening is because I think we click later. Maybe not. So that on update visit, so the description panel pops open and the disable spawn hero checkbox is set to true. So they all should be disabled. So that is, let's check that that's working how I think it is. That should make it so you can't spawn something while this description panel is open. And so that works. So that's a whole different thing, but it's when I close this, for some reason, it's, so what is on visibility closed? Disable false. So this is now firing. Jesus Christ. This is going to be a pain. So this thing, when we close that description panel, this thing is making those, is making those work. What we got to do is inside here, we got to check and we got to say if hero list button dot county population dot faction is equal to global's player faction data, then this changes. Else we don't do anything with it. We don't fuck with it. We only fuck with our own. I don't know if this is going to actually solve that problem, but if it does, you know, once again, it's an easy fix. We need to. Oh, why can't we spawn you? I'm on Portland. All right, so something. This is obvious. Well, no, we aren't even to this thing. This is on the county info thing. There's something wrong here. County info population thing. Where are? Oh, I'm already on it. Check for ownership. That's a different thing. We want to generate the hero panel list here. This deletes everything right off the bat, which is what we want. This is going to instantiate. It's going to put the right icons on them. If they are not equal, they become disabled. The hero prefab. I feel like, is this going through all of them? It is. So this is in the for loop. I just want to see something. Hero faction. Prefab. County population. Faction data. Faction name. That's a long motherfucker there. I have a feeling we're not getting assigned the right faction data to the populations. The shipbirds. Well, that's right. All right, let's look back at our little hero button thing. Maybe that's fucking with it. Where's our little hero button thing? We have too many things controlling this, these checkboxes, and we probably need to combine them. Yeah, like, so this one is, no, that's if you click on it, it does something. So the only things right now that should be fucking with it is this thing. I mean, this, maybe the faction data is not, comparing faction data is not the best way to do this. Maybe we need to do it by like name or something. Like maybe they are different player faction data. They should be the same thing, but they might be like a copy. You know, like it's a copy of the faction data, so it's like not the same thing. That's not really what I want to be doing at all. All right, so the hero faction and the player faction is the same. So that equals, so maybe I do need to put this and make this false. I thought they were defaulting. Did I just change that? And like, because I was clicking this fucking thing. I bet you that's what it was, is I just was clicking away on the, that's what it was. I was like testing this out. Jesus fucking Christ. Well, we'll leave that else in there just in case. I hope I saved it just now. Then we need to move you over to there. Click on this. So we can't click on that person. We can click on that person. It's kind of hard to tell who's who, but I guess we'll just have to deal with that. All right, I'll put a fucking little thing on here. For armies, it's actually heroes or armies. Heroes or armies need to show the faction they are a member of when they are in another faction's county. It's gonna get confusing. I'm not sure how the fuck we'll do that. Icons color coded. Let's put a note in here. Color coded icons. So then when we change this, is this busted? No, so that's fixed. Turning this off doesn't currently do anything, except we, it would try to spawn it. So that's fixed. That's everything we want to have happen there. So this, let's double check, but I think we've done that. We just did that. We are no longer able to, well, we own that one. There's nobody who lives there anyways. It's kind of clicking randomly. That looks fixed to me. Or implemented. I'll close that. How much time do I have? 30 minutes? That's plenty to change the name of this script. I'm not sure how we'll do that. We could do a color coding thing. It's gonna be ugly though. like most of this things I work on, it's gonna be ugly. Let's change the name of this script. We need to close it though. Where is that thing? And then we'll rename it over here to currently called hero list button. I don't know where the fuck it is in all my scripts here. It should probably be under UI, right? Here it's not. It's a UI object though. That's my like prefab. Here it is under here. I went to buy it. This is gonna be called hero panel container, and then we'll open this up and we'll rename this thing hero panel container. I like to know what everything is when I'm doing stuff, because it's easier for me to like look at things later and be like, oh, this is a fucking label that I'm updating. It's when it's buried in some other script. So this actually might not be that big of a deal. Except we're gonna be running into shit all the time where we're gonna do like it'll be hero list. It will be a hero. Well, let's find one. Let's see if we can, and I'll show you what I mean. Unless we don't have this issue. That's not the issue I was thinking of. This is kind of, we want this to say hero panel container. When I first started programming in C#, it really bothered me that everything was named the same, but now I understand why everything is named the same. I'm going to leave that as hero prefab, even though I'm not a big fan of it right now. Okay, that's it. Let's run it one more time to make sure that we didn't just fuck something royally up. Sometimes, rename all can really be a problem. This is working, which is nice. Man, this looks so much worse when there's not something below it. It looks fucking terrible. I mean, everything's ugly right now, and it's going to be ugly forever until we get to like the beautification process, which is way far away. All right, we can mark that off. And then so this is kind of like a requirement because it's gonna be too confusing. I think what we can do actually is here. What is it called? Modulate self modulate. I think. We can go after it's been instantiated. I wonder, do we know what the it's after this? Let's put some more. I haven't been commenting very well at all today. Change color of panel to the faction color. Let's see if this works here. I think it's like hero self modulate dot color. No, maybe it's just self modulate equals faction. I think we have the no equals county population. Faction color. Can I straight up just do this? This is gonna be ugly as fuck though. Do we have a faction? We do have a faction color. I was suddenly we're like, do we even have that? So these are randomly generated. Like this in this one, they're just set manually. But when we run it, they're randomly generated. The color is every time. And I do that because YouTube thumbnails. And it's going to change to something else, but that did not change the color of this thing, though. That's what I was hoping is this would... Oh, wait. No, it is green. They are slightly different color. It's just hard to tell, and it actually doesn't look that terrible. Let's spawn this thing and move it over here. And then look in here. Oh, it does work. That was the easiest fucking thing I've ever done in my life. Huh. Okay. All right. Well, that's done too. Close the issue. So now we're on to get out of here. Did I do it too fast? No. Some people in chat yesterday gave me suggestions. So we're probably right now they're called like aides and army leaders, but we'll probably change it to have like, the army leader will have a different name like war chief and whatnot. But we're done with that part. We can go on to this diplomacy part. We'll move this armies all the way to the bottom here. And when I say done, we just gotta like have the thing respawn, and this is where it like really starts getting complicated. All right, this is done. AI responding to the declaration of war. I only have like 20 minutes left, but we can get this started. I only stream for like 3 hours at a time. It's weird. I have 6 days off in a row. It's very bizarre. So let's look at our diplomacy thing so we declared war. You say declare war, it starts moves, it declares war. This is under diplomacy. I want it to open. There we go. So all declaring war currently does is this. We need... Look at this. Look at this method name. Jesus Christ. All right. So we need to respond to the declaration of war, and that needs to be in here. So this thing needs to like trigger this. And so we're going to need to put in here a faction data of who is attacking them. You need to know who's under attack. Kind of barely. So we'll declare war. Then we need to tell the person that we're declaring war on them. And so what we'll do is we know now selected right-click county data, faction data, diplomacy. See, the other idea that I was having with this is we can make this an event and then everyone subscribes to everyone else's diplomacy. So every faction, when we have like 500 factions, would subscribe to everyone else's diplomacy thing. So when you declared war, it would fire off an event of like, hey, I just declared war on this faction, and then the faction would respawn. It would be subscribed to every other it would be subscribed to everyone else's shit, so it would know that it was just declared war on. And I think that that's the way to do it long term. I'm gonna put this on here. I think diplomacy items should be events, and every faction should subscribe to everyone else's events. So you can have different events, like an event where you declare war, an event where whatever, because they need to happen instantaneously. A lot of this stuff is based on how many hours, like what time it is during the day. If it's 5 p.m., people stop working or whatever. This needs to happen immediately. And we could point this, and that's what we're going to do right now. We're going to do this the shitty way right now. The way we're going to get this faction out of here, though, is so we right-clicked on that, but when we attack, oh, this isn't going to work either way, because eventually we need the, let's write this to work with the player, but eventually we're going to need the AI to also do it. They're going to need to have some way of knowing what faction they're attacking, and that's going to be a whole nother ball of wax. So this is just going to be player globals. Right now, I just want to get things working, and then when we get to the next step, we'll like kind of break down, because I'm not even sure how we're going to do that. And that's why I'm doing each part in little tiny sections. All right, so this will fire this. And we'll go GD print. We're going to do this with the thing here. Then we'll do a squigs, faction data, faction name. Has declared war on You know what? Let's do this differently. How am I calling this declare war? It's when we right click. It's under select county. This is just some confirmation text. This is also called declare war. So it goes declare war. We're going to call this declare war confirmation, and we'll turn on the confirmation thing. You go to this thing, and it actually declares war. Let's do this differently. Declare war under diplomacy is going to actually have 2 faction datas in it. One is going to be called aggressor, and aggressee victim. Let's make this, we'll make this less complicated for myself. Attacker and defender. And let's go here. Has defender, defender, and then we'll just comment this shit out for a second. And then we'll comment this shit out too. And then we'll go back over to whatever thing we broke over here. So this is going to be there's some there's some like I think it's newer heavy metal, but it's like what is this shit? The Eldritch Dark. Oh, it's heavy metal that anyways. And then this is going to be no, it's going to be Global's instance. Right clicked. County faction. I'm going to move this over here. And then it will start move. This is once you hit yes. This is the actual, well, yeah. Once yes has been hit, this is the actual declaration of war. And then under this declaration of war, we'll have all of this diplomacy happen, and it will already know this stuff. And then it will ask them to, so once again, I think this should be an event that's fired. But we're going to do it this way temporarily. Attacker. See, we have this now. We're going to put this in twice. We don't actually care about this. We just care about the defender right now, because the defender faction is then going to build a dude. That's really all we we want, this should just be defender. We're making this as simple as possible to start with, and then we'll go around and make it more complicated. Is responding to the declaration of war. Okay, I hate all of these things. I should just suppress them or something. Because the issue is when I make them static, they often don't work because they're being called from other scripts and whatnot. All right, we did a ton of setup here. This guy has been spawned. He didn't declare war. He was supposed to declare war right there. Let's make sure that's saved. Select county. Oh no, he wasn't. He's not a dude yet. We shouldn't be able to turn this guy into an army dude here. So let's actually fix that. Or not, let's add that to the list. We're not going to fix it. Heroes shouldn't be able to be turned into armies in hostile territory. Like, there's gonna be a ton of little fucking things like that we're gonna be working on. I already know one is there's a space issue, or if you're paused, it's not gonna fire it right. I don't think. I'm gonna put that in here. If the game is paused when you switch the hero to an army, no, hero to an army, and then right click without unpausing, I don't think the declaration of war will happen. And if it does happen, then great. I don't think it will. I was thinking this before I even started streaming. All right, are you a hero yet? No. So this isn't going to work. Go back home. Donna. Then we'll change you into a leader, an army leader. And then see we're not selected on her somehow. Oh, look at that. It did it while I'm paused. Huh. We're going to have to figure out how that's going to work. Then we say yes, and all we're going to do is make sure that this AI Faction 2 is respawning. So back to our diplomacy. So on here, what we want it to happen is they're gonna turn their hero into an army, and they're gonna spawn a hero token. Which we're gonna have to rewrite the spawning of the hero token, but we're also, it's gonna need to know the county that is getting war declared, where the war is coming from. So let's put this. I'm gonna call it a day here, but let's put this. The defending faction needs to know which county is under attack. With only 4 counties in play right now, it's pretty simple, but let's convert this to this. And let's close. Let's save this. Let's get this out of here. Let's save this. Let's close this. Let's close this other one. Let's save this. Everything looks saved. Armies is done. The basics, no. The first step of declarations. War is ready. It's ready for the next step. We're going to push this here, but I'm actually going to merge this army thing to main. And then next time I stream, we'll have diplomacy as the next thing. God damn, this push is taking fucking forever. I'm used to it just like immediately going through. Then let's go to our GitHub here. And we'll switch to this guy. It gave me a dinging noise, which is always concerning. Then we will go like this. And I know that this isn't necessary, but I always worry that it didn't work. I'm paranoid. All right. Main is there. We can actually ditch these other ones, these other branches. Faction AI and that stuff, we can get rid of it. And I guess we can get rid of them here too. And then next time, and I may stream tomorrow, I don't know. I'm gonna make this video my top 10 video tonight. And I don't know. Anyways, thank you guys for joining me. Thank you for the follows and the subscriptions on YouTube. On YouTube, I don't have notifications of when that happened. On Twitch, I do. But, I mean, it shows me, but it doesn't show me while I'm streaming. Because I have I'm multi-streaming, on two different things, and I have this little chat thing that combines them. It doesn't work as well as I hoped. I couldn't tell if this thing was working. I'm gonna test it real quick. The stream's basically done, but I'm gonna test it. I'm gonna type something over here, and it's just gonna be some gibberish. I guess it does show up over there. Anyways, that's it for me. Thank you guys for joining me. I will talk to you next time. Yeah, wins showed up too. Anyways,